Hey guys, May 30th. Hope you had a good Memorial Day. Been in my shed. I'm making progress. It's a good thing. I think it's continuing progress. That's the only way I can put it. So anyway, trying to categorize a few things, and I came across some of these pestles that I found. One here just recently, but I thought I'd go over with you guys what I find here in Northeast Georgia. And these may not be, they may not look like the traditional pestles you may see, the really fine bell-shaped pestles that you might see up in the Midwest, but these are pestles nonetheless. And I thought we'll go over them and we'll talk about them a little bit. Got several of these. These are just a couple that I had out and hadn't put away, and this is a fairly common design here in Northeast Georgia for this culture, but a rectangular shaped piece that has been notched down, reduced down, and slotted at an angle here. And this is a left-handed piece here. It's a left-handed pestle. And I'll show you here in a minute why. They notched that out. You can see some of the staining up in there too. But that's for your thumb. Your thumb would set right in there, and your palm would go over the top, and it'd give you a really good grip on this piece here, these rectangular pestles. And it's very comfortable in your hand. They've got the edges and all rounded off up here on the top pretty well. They've been held like that. You can see the wear on the end here. Probably in a mortar. It's kind of rounded. Look at this other one. It's a little bit bigger one here. Same thing. Good bit of polishing done on this piece. Thumb would go right in there and held like that, give it a really good grip. It's got quite a bit of wear on the crushing end of this thing. This one probably also was used in a mortar. This is a recent find here. I was at the trout pond site and looked across the other side of the river, and the bank had a lot of stuff coming out of it. So I walked over there and I saw this sticking out of the bank, and this blue granite, really nice solid piece material here. Anyway, this is a right hand piece, and you kind of go opposite with this this groove here, this notching. But they also had to reduce this piece down. It's a big piece, and so what they were doing is reducing this down. This is going to be the top part here. And I'll show you something else that's noticeable on this piece here is if you look at the edges on the top here, you see this top corner is rounded off, and there's a reason for that. And I'll show you how they held this piece. Again, this is a right-handed piece. This area right in here is going to be sitting right in here in your palm. And if that was a sharp edge like this one here, it would be really uncomfortable. So that's why they rounded that off there. And took it down about an inch all the way down this stone. This piece would have been held just like this. Thumb sitting right in here. And this is the crushing end. And you see how the edges are worn? They're not quite as rounded off as the other ones we just looked at. So this was probably used on a flat stone to crush grains and nuts, seeds. little bit of rounding, and that's how you could tell this was, you know, that was the end that was used for crushing. And you look at the top where they held it, it's almost perfectly flat with no rounding on the edges. See all these little tiny pecking marks that they used to take this stone down. Nice piece. And this one I found recently, and I can't remember where I found it. And the more I got to looking at this piece, I was gonna leave it in the river, and I said, you know, this is pretty neat. But this may not be what you would call a pestle, but more like a crushing stone. It's a really nice material. There's a lot of quartz in it. It's blue granite with a lot of quartz running through it. I took a long look at this piece, and I started seeing all these pecking marks on the side, on both sides, where they worked this stone into shape. That's a crushing in there. And they also grooved it right here, all the way through, almost all the way through the top here. You can see a little better on that angle there. It's a right-handed piece, and they held this stone. They laid their finger right in that groove right there. This is all nice and polished here, and held it on the sides, just like that. Probably on a flat, used on a flat rock. To me, it's a pretty interesting piece. You gotta look at these things really long and hard. Sometimes they don't look like much, but figure them out. This is more towards a traditional bell-shaped pestle. But again, down here, northeast Georgia, I've never really found a, quote, bell-shaped pestle. Probably as close as I've ever found. But you can see the edges here really worn down. This was used in a mortar. Really worn, rounded off. This is quartzite. See the chipping work done on these facets. Staining all the way around. Been held like that. It was probably would have just been ground in a mortar. Nice piece. Another one that's similar. Some really pretty material. A lot of polishing work done on this piece. See this thumb groove in here. This is a left-handed piece. All these layers in this stone. Really pretty. See the staining. As slick as glass in there. And last is a really nice piece of black stone. Really heavy, highly crystalline material. Just squared this thing off. You dimpled it, and all these facets are all dimpled down except for that back one. Nothing there. There was nothing, no part of your hand would have been there. A lot of polishing on this piece. A bunch. A lot of work put in that piece, believe it or not. That would have probably, it's a pretty flat surface. That would have been on a flat stone, crushing on a flat stone. Anyway, that's what I got today, guys. I just thought you'd be interested in seeing this. Look at them close, figure them out. But hope you had a good holiday again, and hope you're doing well. We will talk with you later.